I'll be like, I'll throw this stick at you, and they'll be like,
For as long as I can remember, I have loved dancing. If I'm having a good day, I'm dancing. If I'm having a bad day, I dance so that I can lift my spirits up. I love that how it can get me up and running in the morning and feeling incredibly good about my day and my life. A happy Shubra is a healthy Shubra. And also, guys, there's nothing like two left feet. Dance. Everyone can dance. I highly, highly recommend it. My guest on Flip the Script with Shubra, well, there is no comparison to her when it comes to dancing. She is hands down one of the finest dancers I have met in my life. She's a world-class Indian classical Bharatanatyam dancer and choreographer. She's also an actor, model, and a wellness enthusiast. Her performances have been celebrated worldwide for its precision, grace, and intense storytelling. She's beautiful, she speaks her mind, and is incredibly funny. She has this lovely aura about her, and I'm so excited to have her on my show. Without further ado, please welcome my guest, the very talented Rukumani Vijaykumar.
hi, Shubra.
Hi, Ruku.
I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thank you. I can't tell you how happy I am. Before getting into the show, I have to tell you this. I feel like we've barely interacted. Also, guys, you should know that we've done a film together, Thimmaya and Thimmaya, right?
Yeah,
but we didn't have any shots over there. So I'm just someone who's been inspired by your work, your grace, your skill, and your success story. It's just been amazing. So I'm just so happy. I feel like by the end of this podcast, I'm going to get to know you better. And I'm really looking forward to this.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. When we started doing like our research and prep for this show, right? We observed something that you hardly do interviews and shows like this unless it's educational. Is there like a reason why you do that?
No, nothing. I don't think it's anything like that specific. I think most of the podcasts that I've been on have usually been like when either somebody I know well, so I know that there's some connection in that sense where I kind of have a feeling of connection in terms of what I feel they might ask me. Or I think that it's usually when there's something of value that I can give through the podcast, because otherwise if it's just about things that people can find out on the internet, I'm not a value add really. So unless I can give something,
right? Okay.
I haven't been doing. Also, I'm traveling so much, so
True.
It's not really easy to do so many.
Yeah, I'm just lucky because we were looking at your roster and we were like, oh my God, she's going to be traveling. If she gives us one date, we're excited. So yeah, I get that. And you've trained under some really prolific gurus. Guru Padmani Rao, Guru Narmada Rao, and Guru Sundari Santanam. I said that
correct.
right?
Yeah.
These are like the stalwarts of Bharatanatyam and movement. How was those days like the earlier days?
I think the earlier days were really hard. I started with Padmini Aunty, and I think the teaching style is very different. Like how I teach my kids is more, endearing, fun. You make it playful. And we don't have like that like I am strict sometimes, but it takes a long time to get them to become strict. So when they start out, it's like I'm really loving. I'm like just making them play. By the time they start doing those adevers where their legs start paining, it's already been like 3 years. And through play, I introduce everything, you know. So finally, when they last, they are in a very playful kind of, I don't know, different mind space when they come. They're not scared of me. I think they pretend like they are. And they're like, hey, hey, auntie. I'll be like, I'll throw this stick at you. And they'll be like, hey, hey, auntie. I'm like, what? Like, I can be scary.
Yeah. But that's nice. So you break the ice in the beginning so they get comfortable. Yeah.
But it wasn't like that when we were kids. So this style of teaching was very different. So you really had to be, I think, strong in some ways to go through that process of training especially when you were a child.
Right.
When you're older, it's different, right?
Right.
So after Padmani, I went to Sundari Akka and Narmada Auntie, like almost simultaneously. So I would learn with both of them. Sundari Akka was very strict, but she was very precise. And I learned this ancient movement system, the Karanas, which is actually Dr. Padma Subramaniam's research.
Okay.
So she revived the Karanas, which are from the Natya Shastra. It's an older technique or movement system. And it was like you've gone to temples, right? So in the temples, you see them standing like this and this and that, right? So all those poses, what we think of as poses, are like photographs taken from the dancer's movement. But if you see, it's very curvy, right?
Right.
It's now Bharatanatyam is really linear.
Right.
It's like really straight and angular. But in the olden system, it's very curvy and more rounded. But we are circular as a culture in general.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that even that the dance would be more like kind of more rounded.
Okay.
So the now I continue, like I'm mentored by Paduka and Gayatri Akka. But Sundari Akka first introduced me to the Karanas. So I used to learn Karanas with her and I would go to Narmada Auntie. But Narmada Auntie was a darling. Like, I mean, she was...
softer.
Yeah, very, I don't know how to say, like, I think she was my confidant.
Okay.
Of not really like a friend, but she would just give me dance. Like, and I could just go there and dance the whole day. I think I was a really annoying kid.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't leave. So I'll go in the morning.
Because you liked it so much.
Yeah, I'll go in the morning and then it'll be like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. She'll be like, okay, Ruku, you can go and eat your lunch and come. I was like, it's fine, Auntie. I don't need to eat lunch. You can eat lunch. I'll wait here.
So
and then she'd like trying to get rid of me. She'd be like, why don't you go home and come back at 5 o'clock? I'll be like, I'll come back at 4 o'clock if that's okay.
Oh my God. Oh, the enthusiasm was at that rate then itself. Oh, lovely.
No, it was like, I think she really wanted to get rid of me some days. Now
but you didn't get the point quite clearly.
I really didn't. But she was really, really loving.
Okay.
I think I flourished under her. And I think in many ways, I found my voice and I found she enabled me to create, so when I choreographed, she would be there. Like it was a really loving environment.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that your mother has been a big support in shaping your career, right?
Yeah.
And do you feel like you remember an advice that she's given you, like in your earlier days, which helped you then and also you take with you right now?
I think my mom was more like a cultural route. Like otherwise, being a Bharatanatyam dancer, if you don't have a connection to the culture or the spiritual context of it, it can become very alien to you. And so all the exposure and grounding that I needed to connect it to that cultural and spiritual root, my mom was there. She would be the one taking me to Vedanta talks or like giving me this book or giving me some chanting something. So she gave me that grounding and that connect. My dad, on the other hand, gave me all the diligence with my physicality.
Wow. Okay.
So because from when I was a kid, he would be up and out of the house by 5:30 a.m. He would many times bicycle to the club, play squash or badminton, whatever, work out and then come back before 8 and then go to work, you know.
Wow.
So it was like a psychotic obsession and I'm like that.
Right,
with
so you get that from him.
So I get that that physical obsession of like which you of an athlete, which you
Right,
need
that
to be a
discipline that you
dancer.
need, right? Yeah.
That I get from my dad. So I guess I got the best from both of them.
Yeah, that sounds like a great balance, like relationship. So lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your day like when you're prepping for a stage performance?
It's more like a week. It's very
Okay.
varied, right? Because sometimes my rehearsals depend on my musicians and my light designer and the
Right.
other artists. So let's say in a week, let's say I have a performance on Saturday or Sunday, let's say. Let's say I have a performance on Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll make sure I do my strength training.
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I'll make sure I do yoga. And I won't do cardio that week because most of my cardio will be expended in my dancing. Like, so I
Right.
won't run or anything
Right.
and my cardio is my other running. So if at all, I might run to between 5 and 10 Ks.
Okay.
Like, if at all.
Okay.
If I feel like, oh, I have energy I need to expend, I might run to. And
5 or 10K, did you just say?
Yeah,
That's just
between
like
5 and 10.
normal for you, like just whatever.
Normally, yeah,
Wow,
between
okay.
5 and 10.
Wow.
And I'll usually have about 3 full rehearsals with my musicians,
Okay.
which will be like around 4 hours long. And then all the other days I'll rehearse by myself.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a balance.
Balance.
Of all of this over the course of a week.
Yeah.
I'll usually fit in all
This
of
is
this
like
if
a
I have
week.
show.
But is there like one habit that you will incorporate in spite of however busy your day is?
I walk with my dog.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
If I'm in Bangalore, I will
That's-
always walk my dog, train my dog, play with him, do something that
Yeah.
he needs.
And what a beautiful relationship you
Yeah.
have with him. He's got your discipline. I've seen how he listens to everything. We have 4 dogs. They don't listen. I mean, I love them all, but they're not listening to me like yours. Yeah. But it's really cute. All your dog stuff is really cute. I don't know if you know this, but Vishal's watched a performance of yours.
Yeah.
Like I think 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And he still speaks about it, saying, I don't think I have been glued to a chair for 1.5 hours watching this girl use these props like a rope. You were on it. And he gets distracted fast. He was like, I was glued, and I remember that forever. And I really hope one day I get to see a live performance of
Yeah,
yours. I really want to. So is there a performance for you which is so close to your heart even after so many years?
I think as a performer for me, I always try to make my most recent performance the best one because that means I'm growing, you know. So that being said, there are obviously some shows where everything falls together and it feels like magic, which means that not only was I in the same headspace, but all the artists who are on stage with me, as well as the crew and the lighting plus everybody was on the same page. And yeah, there have been like some really lovely shows like that. But I always think in the most recent terms.
Okay,
You know,
nice.
so most recently, the 2 shows that were really good for me were this one I did at Prithvi Theatre of this piece I did of Abducted,
Okay.
which was I think in November. And the other one was just last week, which
Okay.
I did of my new production, Rama, in this temple festival that my mom runs. Yeah.
You spoke about that. I want to watch your live. I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on Instagram, but I have to watch your live performance.
Next show.
Yes, done. You're also an actor, and I feel like as actors and artists, we have to be very aware of like our expression and emotion when we're playing a certain character, right? Even if you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
Has there been a time in your performance where like a raw emotion, like grief has seeped in, but you've had a very realistic and cathartic experience? Do you have any performance like that?
Yeah, I feel like almost all my shows feel like that because it's like once I surrender to the character, it's almost like I'm just taken on that journey. And it's not like the current world that is there. Like, because in Bharatanatyam, right, we're actually constantly creating and dissolving imaginary spaces. So like I'll be walking to a forest, there'll be a tree, there'll be like a bird, there'll be something else. there'll be like a larger tree, like, oh, there's a water body. So there's like the eye suddenly, like I have all these objects and things, and suddenly there's a human that I made up with my own mind. But this human has his own life. Although it's from my mind, that human has responses. He has feelings, he has actions, and I'm responding to those feelings and actions, you know, as a character that I'm playing. So now when I surrender to this character, it's as though it's like you do all the practice and you know the line, you know the lyrics, you know the scenario, but ultimately once all the practice is done, even Meisner says this, you know, like there's this point where you just let go. So you do all the thing, you do all of it, and then you let go, and then the character starts speaking through you. So whenever that happens, it's like, it's almost like you are in there for the ride. And I actually speak about this in my book that I wrote. I wrote this book, like Finding Shiva. So it's basically about this, you know, and how once you go through these emotions, as you come out, like once you come out of it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And that was something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is a catharsis of sorts.
True.
And it gives you space not only to see the character from outside, eventually if you can extend it to your life, it helps you see your life also from outside. From the same.
That's beautiful.
Words,
I did this acting course in NIFA. It was like a short course, and they spoke about this, saying that you'll keep doing it, and then during your performance, there's that it's beyond you, right? You reach a point which is beyond you. Right. They're like, that's when magic happens. And let that flow. And they would say it. That it's different when you're saying it, and then when you experience that, and I remember feeling like, oh, this is what they were talking about. I guess it's the same kind of catharsis, right? You spent a lot of your formative years studying in Boston, right? And was there like a moment, situation that shaped you from that young girl to what you are right now? You know, because like I feel studying outside teaches you a lot too.
Yeah. I can't even say one thing that I learned, because I learned so many things. I learned about visualization and like seeing your body do something before it does it from one teacher. From another teacher, I learned improvisation. And now I improvise so much of my show, my Bharatanatyam performance. He taught it to me in the context of contemporary or modern dance, but it applies like just as well or even more in Bharatanatyam because of the way that classical music and dance is structured. You know, there's an improvisational quality that exists within this. But none of my other teachers had taught me about that. Like you go in, it's scary, and then you're just present, but you have all this technique that's trained, and your technique takes you on this, even this improvisational journey. So even whether it's from the acting perspective or the theatrical perspective of Bharatanatyam, or even like just the dance and the nritta and the rhythmic portion, I think I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot about alignment and anatomy. I learned about somatics and like your posture and how that works. A lot about injury prevention and pedagogy. So I can't even contain or like quantify my learning, you know. And though it may have been in the vocabulary of ballet or contemporary dance, everything feeds into my Bharatanatyam, you know, because that's my main vocabulary. Right. So whatever learning I have, like I could read this book on C++, but somehow it'll
make sense.
It'll make sense and within the context of my performance,
wonderful.
You know, because this is like my ocean, and whatever I do else, I feel like rivulets or streams that come into this, my main thing, you know. So I think they, like having that experience actually made me into a dancer. I don't think I was anywhere close to being a dancer before that.
Right.
Even though I may have trained from when I was young. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a lot of unlearning, learning a new things, and you've...
And also going into the deep end with vocabularies that I was not good at.
Correct.
And to just jump into that and go for it and try. There's a lot of like rewiring and being like accepting, like, okay, I just need to try.
Right.
So I think it really opened not just my body, but also my mind and my sensibilities to so many things that I didn't really know. Yeah.
Same thing in my yoga course. Same
Yeah.
thing. Practicing yoga for 10 years, but doing the course,
Yeah.
rewiring everything, just
Yeah, of
rewiring
course.
and like learning, unlearning. It's just, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This I'm going to pry a little bit. I feel like people talk about your success story because you can see that. Not too many people know about the back end, the struggles, the challenges. Was there a time in your life you felt really down and out, defeated, and it was very difficult for you to just like navigate life and everything else?
I think it happens to everyone
Yeah.
at different times in their lives, And sometimes it's to do with work, sometimes it's to do with family. But I think each of those experiences ends up making you stronger if you're able to navigate it the right way. If we don't and we end up responding in a non-conducive way, not just to ourselves, but to our environment, I usually feel that it drags you more down into a vortex. And I'm saying that I've done that to myself, both things.
Okay.
I've been able to respond well and bring myself out. And I've also responded badly and gone into a vortex of negativity, right? So, but I think more and more over the years, I've been able to, how do I say, learn and grow from my inadequacies, especially like emotional response inadequacies, and be able to choose to first, like, this is one of the things that I speak about a lot in my wellness sessions, as well as one of my greatest takeaways from Vedanta, I think, because I've been studying so much Vedanta the last 5-6 years, is that you stick quiet. If you don't know what to say, then you take time to contemplate, you think, and then you respond mindfully, intellectually, not just to favor yourself, but to just better the situation. But when we respond emotionally, what happens is that we end up not only not favoring ourselves, but we also make it worse many times,
Yes.
And like, let's say we want this, we're here, we respond badly, and then we go all the way here. So if we respond well, you might go a little bit closer.
Yeah.
To what you want.
Right.
So, and it's not that you'll get it immediately. It's not that you will.
Right.
But at least you're not making it worse.
Right. That's wisdom.
So it's, so yeah, there have been times, I think there have been times when I haven't known how to navigate the world of artists. I haven't known because I was really young and just like, oh, I need to get this done and get this done. And in that enthusiasm to get this done, sometimes you don't know that, like, I'm not very aware. Like, if someone looks happy to me, I think they're happy. If someone doesn't say anything to me, I think, oh, there's nothing going on inside. Because I'm the type of person, if I'm unhappy, I'll be like, I'm unhappy. Do you know I'm unhappy? Like, or if I'm like, if I'm happy, I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah. So it's like very like, it's a clear board, right?
You get what you see, basically.
So when I was younger, I didn't know that. And it's not whether it's right or wrong. It's not that my way is better, their way is wrong or something like that. But that's how humans are. And when I was young, I didn't know that. So along with being an artist, it's very important to, like, I would go on stage and I would forget to announce all the credits. For example, this is like a really simple thing, right? But I am just overwhelmed by like staging a show and doing this and whatever. And I would just say some things and I would forget the credits of sometimes my dancers. I would forget the credits of my light designer, of the main crew person, the composer. And I wasn't doing this on purpose.
Right.
It's just like, I would just forget.
Right.
And with time, I learned like, that's a horrible thing to do. You should never forget the credits.
Yeah.
So now I'm like the opposite. Like if I make a post, I'll tag everyone's name. I'll be like, announcing everyone's name. I'll go up. But the thing is that there are times when you're young, like, and especially when I was out of college and things were not going well, I'd be like, why did I become a dancer? This sucks. It's the worst thing in the world. I wish I'd just gone to normal school. Normal school means like engineering,
Yeah.
architecture school, and like just had a normal job.
Right.
But I don't think I suffered so many moments of that. I think we do have our lulls, we do have some time, but it became less and less and less over the years. And I think I've had a lot more growth personally for myself in the last 4 or 5 years. And honestly, even when things are really bad around me, I think I'm still able to, like, I don't know, pick myself up and function
Nice.
and do stuff and, try to respond in the most cordial way. It's not to be a pushover, but to just respond in a way that I hold my ground, but I also look
Right.
right. But instead of going like,
Yeah. We've all been there.
yeah. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay. For me, I think personally, I'm a super sensitive person. Like
Yeah.
very, very sensitive. And are you sensitive? Do you think you're sensitive?
I think I am, but...
Do you cry?
Yeah.
You cry a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I cry a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I'm happy, I'm crying. Like if I'm
Okay.
sad, I'm crying. Like with me, you'll instantly know,
Yeah.
how you said, like if I'm sad, you'll know I'm sad.
Yeah.
If I'm happy, like
Yeah.
this thing. But you're right on that part. Because, when you're so emotionally heightened also,
Yeah.
sometimes because something has hurt you, and it's not because the other person's wrong, that immediate reaction can be very detrimental, because as
Yeah.
you said, it's only here, but then because of the reaction, it's reached there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's happened to me. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But you're someone who's got it together. It's amazing. I'm just like listening to you, and I know it. Like you just got it together. I mean, those are like pearls of wisdom, and I know you like practice it to the T. It's not because of the podcast you're saying that. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, this is like a personal observation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, the work that you do is rooted. It's spiritual. It's cultural. It has a certain niche. Right?
Yeah,
If I can say that. Now there's a mainstream cinema, right?
Yeah.
And the dance that happens over there. You know how there's this widespread admiration, adulation, there's frenzy, it goes viral and all of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. There is a disparity.
Right.
How do you preserve your sense of pride and ownership, knowing that, hey, okay, what I'm doing has a lot of meaning and I'm not going to be affected by all this thing. Like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't reach that space.
Yeah, I think it's belief and honesty with the work that you do. And I think there's also a sense of self, in the sense that I'm not looking disparagingly at any of the other stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you do
Yeah.
a Natu dance. It's
Yeah.
like really cool.
Dude, we love Natu
I'm
Natu.
like, I want to do it. I
Yeah.
also like it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing, I don't see, there are many cloisters that we live in already, right? And being a dancer, personally, I'm just like, why? Just enjoy it.
Yeah,
because
right.
dance is just joy.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And although we may do concert dance in the sense that you primarily do it in a theater, lighting, people pay tickets, they come, it's a smaller audience. It's not like popular culture, right? But I believe in the work that I do. And I like it and I enjoy it. But on the other hand, I enjoy any dance. You give me some Bollywood number, I will have like a field day dancing
Yeah,
to it.
I've seen you dancing at a
and I
Sangeet,
can do
yes.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I love moving.
Yeah.
But I truly connect to the work that I do also, right? I think that even though it's so distant, every art form has a space,
Right.
and it has its own context.
Right.
And we need it.
Yes.
So there's no hierarchy in the arts.
Right.
It is just that when you do, like, when we have Bollywood or popular culture, it gives the release for like thousands of people to just go like, whoa,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah.
And that has a space.
Yeah.
If we go to a friend's wedding and we dance, that has a space.
Right.
If you are dancing by yourself at home to music, that has a space. Classical arts in their traditional form have a space.
Right.
Contemporary arts has a space. Because sometimes we're like, reject the classical arts, be contemporary.
Right.
Classical arts are like, reject the contemporary, reject
yeah,
Bollywood,
yeah,
be classical.
yeah.
So I'm not in that.
Yeah.
I love all of it.
Yeah.
And I think that all of it has great value in adding to our culture as humanity, you know? So,
Beautiful.
yeah, so I don't feel like...
Yeah, it doesn't bother you.
It doesn't bother me
Nice.
really.
Right.
It doesn't,
Yeah.
it's a different space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, lovely. Talking about films,
Yeah.
how did you get into films? How did that happen? Was that a plan that you had, or it just happened?
I think I was, to be honest, I think I'm a better actor than I'm a dancer. Because
Wow.
I think I work, like even on stage, like I was just talking to this girl who works with me and I was saying, I said, you know, my last show, I worked really hard on all the nritta. Nritta is like the dancing, rhythmic, portions.
Okay.
And I practiced a lot. But then when it comes to the characters and intention and building a story, I just have an idea and I go with the flow. So, and after the show, everyone remembers only that.
Huh.
They'll be like, oh, this
Yeah,
connection, no, when Sita saw Rama, no, Rama's sorrow. This was amazing. I'm like, what about all those jatis I did?
Yeah,
Like you don't remember any of that? Like I worked really hard for it. But I think that it's not that I didn't work at all. I mean, I did when I went to acting school and I studied a lot. But I think it's a more organic journey for me. So when I used to do all these TV commercials and all of that, then Bharti Raja sir saw me and he called me for my first movie.
Okay.
Then I got a bunch of offers after that, but I was in my zone to dance.
Okay.
So I wanted to go to dance school. So I was like, I need to go to dance school. I'll come back and do it. But then by the time I came back, I was so immersed in that. Then I started doing like smaller roles, and I was really happy doing them.
Right.
You know, I worked with some really nice people.
Smaller but very good roles.
Yeah,
they
nice
added a
roles.
lot of value. Yeah.
So with Harsha sir and like Bajrangi, I did
yeah.
a really nice role. Then Mani sir, I did
Right.
one role in Kartravalli. Then I did
The Sita Ram.
Sita Ram. I did.
Yeah.
So in each one, I think I grew. I learned after my first film with Bharti Raja sir, and I did Ananda Tanvam actually in college itself.
Okay.
So for that one, I was like, no, I can't have college. I have college. And I had this big FOMO. I couldn't even miss one dance class
Okay.
because I was like, if I miss class, what will they teach? And I won't know it. So he's like, we're shooting in the US only. You can come and
Oh, really?
you can do it.
Okay.
So I did that one. So, I mean, I've been doing acting. But maybe not as much as I would like to.
Yeah, that's my next question.
yeah.
Why don't we see you? Because you are a damn good actress. Like, why aren't you doing more mainstream cinema?
I think because I've invested all my energy in dance, one. Two, I have to be there and meet people and all that and tell people, hey, I'm around. I
Right.
want to act. Like
Correct.
things. So I haven't got around to doing that. But also for me in my mind, I think my mindset is that when I'm young, I need to dance. Like I have to dance because my body is going to be available to me only for so much time. But even when I'm older, I can still act. So it's not like my acting skills will go away, right?
Right.
Like, so I can still act till I'm like 90 if I'm
Right,
like alive.
right, yeah.
So as long as I can move around.
Yeah.
So I think that's my bargain because I do love both and I do want to do more movies. I do want to
Yeah,
act.
guys, are you listening? She wants to act. Yeah, yeah.
But it's just, I feel like it's a trade-off sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Talk about your dance company, Radha Kalpa. I'm really fascinated by the concept of how you've amalgamated traditional and contemporary, and you're teaching so many like aspiring dancers.
Yeah.
You know how they say when you're teaching, you're also learning, right?
Yeah.
What is that one lesson you've learned from them that you use in your life or you wish you knew earlier?
I think I've learned patience from them, like how to actually also how to let go. Because initially, as a younger teacher, I would just do everything for them. So let's say they didn't practice, I believe you didn't practice. Okay, I'll help you now. They didn't do anything. I will do this for you. You didn't do strength training. I will teach you strength training. You didn't practice your stretches. Okay, let's do the stretches in class. So I would try to fill all the gaps for them in order to make it happen for them. Right? And I did this for a very long time. But I think in the last 5 years, alongside my own growth, I've learned to slowly let go of that, because if they need to do it, they need to do it. And I can guide them, but they actually need to take the initiative themselves. Right. So, and also just from a material sense, I've learned to quantify, analyze, and systematize my teaching methodology. Okay. So my Radha Kalpa method, which is my educational system, I actually owe it to all my students, because of all their hundreds of questions and me trying to solve the problem of trying to get them to do something, which became intuitive to me over the course of many years of learning. Right. So when I do something intuitively and then I'm trying to get them to do it and they're not doing it, I'm like, how do I make them do it? And they'll be like, do it like this. I'm like, they're not doing it. Okay, like, so how do I quantify this? How do I break it down? Right. How do I make it right so that they can follow step by step and finally arrive at where I need to do? So all these things I've gotten from my students. But I want to correct you on one thing. I mainly do only traditional work.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't teach them. It's not an amalgam.
Oh, it isn't.
Company.
Okay.
I use mainly only the Bharatanatyam vocabulary. Okay. But what people seemingly perceive as contemporary is actually the Karanas.
Okay. My bad. Yeah. Okay.
So because it's actually older than the Bharatanatyam system now.
Oh, lovely.
So from a vocabulary perspective, I very strongly stick to the Bharatanatyam vocabulary and the Karanas. Okay. So I don't use my contemporary vocabulary in my choreography on my dance company. Because actually they're not contemporary trained.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Got it. So you, in your dance pieces, you've got this spirituality, mythology, right? And then you have your own interpretation also of it. How do you stay true to the traditional narrative while incorporating your style into it?
So when you are using mythological characters and Puranic characters, there is a certain honesty you have to keep. So you need to know enough of the text.
Correct.
Let's say, since we were talking about Rama and Sita, and that's what I performed recently. Let's say I'm talking about Rama and Sita. I need to have read the Valmiki Ramayana. I need to know the essence of what this character of Rama is, the essence of what this character of Sita is, and then I can create from it. Because now we're not only looking at a culture, we're also looking at a population that thinks of these figures as gods and goddesses. So it's a position of an artist to not, yes, you can question, but you don't wantonly offend anybody, so you have to stay true to that context. So I can't say, Sita actually had the hots for Ravana and Sita fell in love with Ravana, because it's against her character.
Correct.
She's an embodiment of Lakshmi. She's supposed to be this. She's supposed to be with Vishnu. So I can't say that because what? Sita had Stockholm syndrome, then she's not Sita. But I can, within the scope of that character, I'm writing something about with Sita. So when I read a text, I have so many interpretations, and out of 6 or 7, only one thing will go on stage. So I'm writing how in my mind Sita was actually a better archer than Rama.
Oh, wow.
But so she's telling these stories to Lava and Kusha. She's trying to train them, and then he shoots an arrow and he's like, oh my God, and you're supposed to be Rama's son. Come here. Let me show you. I'll show you. This is how you do it. And then she gets it. He's like, wow, you're so good. And then immediately her thoughts go back to how when she was with Rama and then she's shooting and Rama is like, oh man, what is this? Wow, amazing. And then the moment someone else comes, she misses it. And then Rama's like, really? Really? And then she's like, shut up. You don't know anything how to be a king.
Oh, wow.
So when you're king, you have to be the best. Even if I'm better than you, that's between us.
But, I love that. But that is so intelligent,
that
so
is
nice.
A poetic interpretation of my own idea of how I see their interaction and their love. But it's still within the... how they write comics. Yeah. Comic fans, right?
Correct.
Recently, I was talking to some friend of mine who has a comic fan page.
Okay.
So he's like, comic fans write comics, like Harry Potter comic or some other comic, but they know the character enough, so they write within the scope of that character.
Yeah,
right?
you keep the fundamentals there, and then you
You need to know what they like, what they dislike, what they would do, what is their inherent formula, what's their constitution, what would, if you made them do that, how would it break? Like they would no longer fit that thing. They would no longer be Rama or Sita, right? So as long as you're honest to that, I feel like I have a lot of artistic liberty.
Yes.
It's harder because I'm doing a classical form. I'm doing Carnatic music. There are rhythmic cycles. There's a form. There's a hand. I have to keep my hand in the right place. But within all the structure, there is a lot of freedom also, that the more you know the structure, the more freedom you get. Like,
right. Nice. Okay. I love your process. I'm in awe right now listening to like how this mind of yours works. This is a question for all the young boys and girls who want to be aspiring dancers, right? What is that one quality or habit or skill that they should have to just become better dancers?
just practice and constant self-evaluation. Not deprecating evaluation, because now there's a tendency to be like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I saw the video. And there's a benefit to so many videos and so much material. But there's also like many youngsters who get demotivated. So I think that art is not a competition. So it's just about you being better than yourself
Right.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's just about diligence and keeping your head down and just working every day.
Right.
And small steps and just trying to be better than yourself.
Nice. But it's also like, I think with kids, it's easier said than done, right? Because that sense of competition does come up somehow, right? So what's your narrative like to a kid like who's like, oh, I'm not good enough? Like, do you say it like this itself?
So with the kids in my class, I think because they've been with me from when they were 5 or 6, they're very used to this.
Okay.
So if I say, they actually have no competition in them. I'll be like, see, what is this? This Manasvi is dancing so well. Why don't you all dance? And they'll be like, very nicely she's dancing, auntie.
Oh.
I'm like,
It's not working.
I'm
Okay.
like, why don't you all try to compete a little bit? I'm good, because I've had this like very loving, you're good, you're whole, you're amazing as you are. So they don't have that. But healthy competition is necessary a little bit. But sometimes I also feel if they're dancing, as long as you feel whole, you feel happy, and you're just working on being better yourself,
Right.
it really doesn't matter whether you dance like someone else or not.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
And there is no exact, this is perfect, this is it. Because you never reach that. Nobody reaches that.
Right.
Yeah. Even after so many years of dancing, I know I haven't reached it. Every show I'll watch my film and be like, this is wrong. Oh, fix this. But it's like, but while you're dancing, it's okay.
Right.
As long as you've done your best.
We're all good, right? Yeah. Ruku, a quality that I admire about you is how you are constantly reinventing yourself. You're doing so many things: dancer, choreographer, actor, model, wellness enthusiast. I love that. It's like you don't want to be put into a box. I'm kind of like that. I like to do different things. It just gives me so much joy. What drives that endless hustle for you?
It's funny that you say hustle, because I think of it like that. And I actually use that word a lot. I'm like,
too.
I'm a hustler.
Same. Same.
So I think it's more about how do it's not even about contribute, but what is my relevance within the context of my community, right? Like as people or human beings, right? So now if, like within the dance realm, I have a dance methodology. So with wellness, I think it just came about because of my own lifestyle, I guess, and how I am, and over the process, how much introspection, especially that I've been doing over the past few years. And I think there's some things within my family, and I lost my dad, and a bunch of other things that made me really start thinking about who I need to be as a person, what I need to do, how should I grow, because ultimately I can only change myself. I can't change anybody else. And how we experience the world finally determines who we become, and like what place we are here. So I think because of spending so much time, I think wellness was just like a normal organic offshoot to just what I do with my own life every day. Okay, now it's been like 6-7 years. It's affecting my life. I can see myself changing. I see myself responding differently. I see my environment changing because of how I'm changing. So then I felt I'm ready. So it's not, and it's also like, how do I make things? Because as an artist, you just have to be a hustler, because it's not like every day is just the same.
Right.
So it's more like, yeah, I'm good at dancing. I'm a pretty good choreographer. I'm good at acting. I have this. I have these many ideas, and every day I have so many creative ideas. Like I'll wake up, I'll have like thing. I'll write something else. I'll write this. Like I have one productions page. I have like some 75 things that are not complete and like not done. And like let's say I have a wellness idea. I'll like write blah 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 blah. So I have like creative vomit,
Right.
which happens on like a daily basis. So, and I'm also like someone who has urgency. Like, so let's say I've set my mind on this. I'm like, out of all this 75 creative vomit, I find like 2 things. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. This is happening and I need it done like immediately. So I'll fix the place, I'll do the thing, I'll do the research, try to get this, blah, 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 blah. And I just need to get it out there,
Yeah.
You're laughing a lot. Like, you're like, I know
No.
that. I do that too.
Same.
I do that too. I feel you.
If Vishal was here, he'd be like, my God, dealing with 2 now. Yeah.
So it's not even like, I don't know if it's like motivation to keep it going. I don't know how to be any other way. Like it's just,
Yeah. That's who you are.
yeah,
basically.
like I just do it. Like,
Yeah.
like let's say we say, okay, Shubra, next in 2 months, why don't both of us go on a wellness holiday? Like on the way home, I'll research all the places we can go,
Yeah.
what we can do, where's the place, how do we reach by flights, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
I'm like that. Like
Yeah,
I don't know
same.
if it's some like neurological syndrome,
Yeah.
but I just, if my mind is
Yeah.
like this, I'm like this.
Dive into it,
Yeah,
right?
and people think I'm rude also. Like let's say I might be doing nothing, okay? I'll be sitting like this, and like 5 people that I know from childhood will walk by me, okay? And they'll look at me, they'll smile, but because my thoughts are somewhere, I'll be like this.
It's not registered. You're like,
Yeah, I don't even know who they are.
And it's not like you're rude.
I'm
yeah,
not
but you're
rude,
just lost in your.
But
yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Right.
So they'll be like, hi, hello. I'm like. Shubra, you don't know how many flights I've missed like this, sitting at the boarding gate.
Really?
Yeah.
That extreme. Wow.
I'm so extreme. Like,
Okay.
And sometimes when I'm in that zone, I'll be like, okay, I'm getting on this train. Like, let's say I'm in London and I knew I have to write 3 stops to my workshop, okay? So I did this last time, actually. Last time I was in London, I had a workshop in November, I think September, November, whatever. So I'm like, I have 3 stops. I know this. I can do this. And then I put my headphones on and I sit down. And that's it. It's gone. It's gone. I've written 10 spots. I've like 10 stops later. I'm like, oh my God. I'm 10 stops. Oh my God, I'm late. I'm late for my workshop.
Oh, no.
And then I have to take a train, go all the way back, get off. And I'm like, girls, I'm so sorry. And like, what happened? I'm like,
Yeah. What do you say? Yeah.
I zoned out. Like,
Love. I think all that brilliance comes from this attitude. You know?
I don't even
Yeah.
have a reason.
But it's this passion, right? That like I think shows in all the work you're doing. You're so like passionate.
Obsessive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I feel like if you got to be good at something, like for me personally, you got to be so obsessed with that idea, so passionate. For me, that's what works.
Yeah.
This half-baked thing has never worked for me. I don't even do anything like that. But you know, that madness, sometimes I have friends and Vishal saying, take it a little easy. You don't have to go completely kooks in the process. I'm like, but you know, when I go kooks is when I can do a little better.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You know, I don't feel
I'm
like.
glad I'm not. I
Yeah, you
don't
feel
need to
less
feel
crazy.
I don't
Yeah.
feel awkward.
Yeah. But when you're hustling so much, again, my favorite word, hustling, so much, for me, when I take rest, right, there's a certain sense of guilt that comes with it, and it's not a good thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, did I earn this rest, right? I still have to do so many
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
recently saw a post on social media where you spoke about how you took a nap in the afternoon,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, it was needed. And I was like, yeah, wow, it's so good. And it was like a reminder for me, like, hey, it's okay, calm down sometimes.
Yeah.
When you're hustling so much, what's that mental strength? How do you cut off and you're like, hey, I need to do this for my mental health? Because sometimes you can be in overdrive mode and it can be detrimental.
I'm really not the best person. But I'll be honest. I know that I've gotten I keep saying the last 5 years because I know there's a huge change in myself in that. I know I have cut down on a lot of things. Because earlier, let's say I landed today and I had a show tomorrow and I had to drive 8 hours for the show, I would just say it's fine, I can do it. And it's not that I can't, but now I'm like, no, I'm going to be at home. It's not like I'm not working. I am working. I'm working constantly. My mind is working. I'm creatively working. I'm doing things. But I need to also
Rest.
step back.
Yeah.
And it's not just rest. It's like make time for things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make time to have a cup of tea with a friend. Make time to walk in the park, to run as much as I need to train as much as I need to. And before COVID, I think I would have, if I was continuing the way I was then, I would have been burnt out by now.
Exactly.
So it is, so before the burnout, I think COVID happened, which gave me a big reminder. And then there are many things in my life that helped me like start stepping back and trying to prioritize and take. So it's not like I still continue to feel that guilt when I take, because for me, let's say it's a Sunday and then in the morning I get up, I do yoga, I train my dog, I go for a run, I'll come back and then I will do all my portion of the administrative work, which other people do during the week, but I'm doing all the creative work, so I can't. So let's say I do all that, then I'll send out emails to all the girls in my office, and then I'll be like, okay, I have the afternoon. So it'll be like 3 o'clock by now, and then I'll be like, okay, maybe I can watch TV. And then I'll watch TV and be like, earlier I would feel supreme guilt, like, what am I doing? I'm watching TV. Now I'm like, it's fine. I can watch TV and I can watch 3 movies. No, but there are very few days like that happen for me in the year. But when I do get it, I'm learning to enjoy it rather than like say, oh, you don't deserve it. Because I'm fine. Like,
right.
There's no problem. I don't need to be productive 24 hours of the day. It really doesn't work like that.
Right. And the other side to the question, I consider myself disciplined and balanced. But there are days, sometimes it goes into weeks and sometimes months where I just don't have that drive. Like I kind of let go, right? You, I know, the most disciplined artist. Now, before I would say one of the most, now I'm going to say the most disciplined artist. And a lot of people have also told me about that. How do you keep that? What's your mental narrative like to just be at it?
I think for me, and in a larger sense, it's like I have only one thing, right? I have dance. And that's the only thing that I can contribute in some way to my environment. And it's not like I'm a doctor, I'm saving lives. I'm not doing like some, big charity fund like thing. I'm not equipped to do any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to, right? So the only thing that I can do is give people some solace, some insight into their own lives, because in some ways art is a reflection of our own life, right? And when you see works of art, sometimes it makes you think about yourself and your own life. So in some ways I'm just holding up a mirror and saying, hey, why don't you consider this, or why don't you see this? Or you give some, at the least is like you just give them like 1 hour of like some some peace, like, some respite from what lives they lead. So this is the only thing that I know how to do. And even this one thing, if I can't do properly, then I really suck. So I'm just like trying to do the best I can with what I know how to do. So, and that keeps me going. And I think in some ways, because it is a physical art form, I have to keep my body in shape. So if you want to just say literally from one show to the next, I'm just like, I don't want to feel tired. I have to be on stage for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. I don't at any point want my stamina to break. So it's that thing of that fear of at some point my stamina is going to give way, that I'm like, no. Next week, no. Next week, tour. And I need my mind present. I need my body present. And I need to just like function at top quality because that's me respecting my art form.
Yeah.
And through that, myself and the people around me.
Right.
Because if I don't do that, I'm disrespecting everyone who came to watch me.
Right.
I'm disrespecting my art form as well.
For me, dance is a necessity. Like it's really.
I feel it's a necessity for everyone.
Everyone, exactly.
But they just don't know it.
Yeah.
And once they get it,
and then like
you can't stop.
Exactly, because you enjoy so many perks from that. Because it's just not that. Like you just feel good. All of that.
I think everyone should every day go into a room, play some music, at least for 15 minutes. And they say, like dance like no one's watching.
Yes.
And just go crazy.
Yes, yeah.
And it'll give you so much relief.
My day starts like that. It always starts like that. And that energy I have
Does
from
everyone
that,
in your house think you're nuts?
they think I'm nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, they've accepted it.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome to the club. I'm trying to convert some people also. I'm almost there with some people, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. Which brings me to my last, serious question before I get into the fun space. What value do you hope your dance, your efforts will bring to the future? Like, what's the kind of legacy you want to leave behind?
I think to learn to be present at every moment and lead our lives. Just like being right here, right now. Does that make sense? It's really hard. But yeah, I think dance allows me that. But I hope that I can also do that outside of my dance. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Lovely. Wow. What a girl. Okay, my next round is like a quick, fun, spontaneous.
Oh my God, now I have to prepare.
That was the easy part for you. Like a rapid fire. Okay. One thing that you're excited about for this year.
Oh my God. Sunshine.
Sunshine? Okay. Nice. A dish you can have any day at any time.
Salad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific salad?
No, I think there are a whole mix of them that I can have. Usually I like salads that are mixed with something warm as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a warm salad too. Yeah. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Bestowing happiness.
Oh, love that. A spirit animal you feel connected to.
A wolf?
Nice. What's the most ridiculous fear you've ever had?
That I'll drown in the ocean.
Really? Okay. I mean, considering you're diving so much, I guess it's a pretty normal fear.
I mean, the first time I went in, I really thought I would
but did you have like a fear of water or something initially?
No, I really thought I can't even get into the ocean. Like,
really?
I didn't even think like I could, because I'm not a good swimmer.
Okay.
I'm just really good inside the water.
Oh, wow. Going from that to doing so many dives, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, like,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, lovely. Okay. A song that gets you up and excited and you can just like break into a dance.
I like to move it.
Nice. I like that song too. Is there like a secret that you can really reveal right now that not too many people know about you? Like a quirk. Mine is I'm bad at math. Terrible. Yeah, numbers.
I'm bad at singing, but I think everyone knows that. I put out videos with me singing my dance cards and they're like, oh, everyone knows I suck at singing. everything I think would be like a secret. I feel like people know. I'm like, I have really bad feet, like ugly feet.
I say the same thing. That's crazy. I have like not the
I
best
have
feet.
really ugly feet
See?
because
Mine's-
mine have calluses and like I have
Mine
an
I-
ugly toe.
I have like my bones protrude, so it's just like damn weird. My
Yeah.
friend, there was a girl in the 4th grade. She came and like she announced, she was like, "Oh my god, you have such ugly feet," and it stayed. And like some people try to tell me, "No, it's not so bad." I'm like, "No, it's too late."
But I think everyone knows that.
Okay.
In that quirk, but I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I mean,
great.
I
So
think
then-
it's nice. I think it's really nice. But yeah, if you say so, I know.
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, this is a secret. I think everyone knows. There was one shoot I came.
Huh.
I think it was there was for a sari and there was a wedding scene, and in the wedding they do this thing, right?
Huh.
And I'd flown down specifically for the shoot when I was in dance school in
Okay.
between for just like 3 days. I'd come down for the shoot and then to go back. And that was when I was acting also. So, and when you're in dance school, trust me, you don't have any time for a pedicure, okay? So you have not only calluses, at least now my callus at the bottom. Then I would have like on top, here, burns, this, everything. And then they're like, in the shoot, we need to do this, ma'am. I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't think you want to use my feet. And then they're like, no, it'll be fine. Just show. And I showed my feet and they're like, oh, ma'am, we'll use a double, ma'am. I'm like, yeah, okay. Thank you very much. So they got some girl on the set, put all the mehndi on her feet, and they used her feet. I'm like, thanks. Makes me feel really nice.
Yeah, I feel your
Thank
pain.
you. I'm
Yeah.
like, thanks.
Yeah.
Since then, I've been trying to get a pedicure, but it usually doesn't happen. Like once in like 2 months, 3 months. And whenever I go back, they'll be like, ma'am, you need to come more often, ma'am.
Same.
Little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll try next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's that, or they'll tell me, when was the last time you did it? In like shock looking at my feet. I'm like,
Just this,
Yeah. Exactly. My last question, one thing you cannot live without.
Family.
Family. Nice. Same. Thank you, Ruku. You are so inspiring. Your story, your craft and the way you approach it, like it's just very beautiful. It's very refreshing. There are a lot of people who have the passion. A lot of people have all these ideas, but not too many people have that resilience that just like, let me stay on the path and do what I love doing. You're that girl. You're really an inspiration. I just feel like I know you so much more right now. And thank you for doing this. Thank you for taking time. It really, really means a lot to me.
Thank you, Shubra. I feel like I know you more as well. And it's really kind of you to have me here today.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure my team's really, really happy too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yay! Yay, guys. Whoa, we're dancing also. Cut.